KHTS Radio, Carl Goldman with you. This is going to be a very special hour. If you are driving around Santa Clarita, if you have a kid who's getting ready to go to college, or if you have a kid at COC right now, or if you happen to be at COC right now, as I know many of you are, you're going to want to stick around because we're going to be talking about a really cool program at College of the Canyons and talk about the potential careers out there for those who want to enter the health field, specifically nursing. This show is going to become a part of a regular series, and down the line we're going to be interviewing students. It's all being brought to you on behalf of our friends at Visiting Angels. Geneva Gray, who's the owner of the Visiting Angels franchise here in Santa Clarita, is with us in the studio as well to talk about careers for nursing through Visiting Angels. And if you want more information on Visiting Angels, visitingangels.com/Santa Clarita. We'll be talking more about that as well. But first of all, welcome all of you. And why don't we start with Mary to begin with and give us a little background on the whole nursing program that's available at COC, because you cover a lot of different aspects.
Absolutely, we do. Thank you so much for this wonderful invitation today. My name is Mary Corbett. I'm the nursing program director over at COC. I've had the privilege of being a faculty member there for almost 12 years, full-time, serving our students. We provide to our students the opportunity to attain their associate's degree in nursing. And we also, in a very exciting development over just the last 4 years or so, also have collaborations going on with a number of programs that enable them to achieve their bachelor's degree in nursing, either while going to school concurrently with us, or they continue with their bachelor's after they finish with us.
And the nursing program also has relationships with many of the hospitals as well, correct?
Absolutely. We would not be successful in the training of excellent beginning nurses without the support of everyone in this community. This community has been fantastic in terms of supporting COC nursing. And that includes the institutions, clinical institutions in this community as well. We have a number of clinical rotations going on all the time at Henry Mayo Hospital, and we've had a long association with them, which we have great appreciation and admiration for all that they do for patients there.
So you have the Henry Mayo relationship, and is it true that you also have relationships with Cal State, with Northridge Hospital, and also with Providence Holy Cross?
We have relationships with a number of hospitals, yes. Many rotations at Holy Cross, at Northridge, St. Joe's, Simi Valley, Tarzana, Valley Presbyterian, a number of hospitals.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty unique program. We'll talk more about that in a couple minutes, but I want to introduce Julie Lutz, who's also from COC. She's with the Sciences and Health Professions Coordinator. Is that correct? What exactly is that, Julie, and welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I work in the Math, Science, and Health Professions office, which we cover. Nursing falls under our department as well. It's a huge part of what we do in regards to accepting nursing applicants and accepting our nursing students twice a year.
Terrific. Now, someone who wants to enter, how many kids are in the nursing program now?
For spring 2018, for our nursing students, we have 193 students for spring.
Wow, 193. And how many applicants do you get?
Well, our applicants, we take applications twice a year. Our process opens December 1st or June 1st, and we generally receive close to 400 applications every 6 months for 50 seats.
Wow, for 50, yeah. So
it's
very,
highly
very competitive.
It is.
So someone listening right now who's in the Hart District or at one of the private schools in Santa Clarita, when should they start communicating with you? Should that be in 10th grade, 11th grade, or 12th grade?
Well, there are prerequisites that students need to complete prior to applying to the nursing program, and they're actually college prerequisites. So, depending on how eager a student is, I mean, checking into College of the Canyons to go, like college now, college at the same time you're in high school. That's if you want to get a head start on getting your prerequisites complete prior to getting to college. That's something you would want to, look into. It's really just, I would say the sooner the better to understand what you're getting yourself into and what processes and what classes you need to take to get into a nursing program as soon as possible. It's not all about the timing, it's about the grades as well.
Yeah, I know some of you driving out there have the kids in preschool and you're already planning ahead, but wait a little while, but probably somewhere around 7th or 8th grade to look before going to high school on what the prerequisites are going to be would be a wise thing to do, right?
Well, yes, especially your senior year in high school when you're really looking, junior, senior year, when you're looking to see exactly which path you want to take in college, if you're exploring different options, it's a good time to come to an information session. We offer those once a month in regards just to our nursing program that can be found on our website. So that's a great thing to attend at any time, but mostly a lot of high school students, especially junior seniors, attend that, and also prospective nursing students that are coming from all over, coming back into like career change or anything like that, to understand exactly what we're looking for, what you have to have complete prior to applying to our program, and exactly the process to follow.
And we're going to be spending a good portion of this hour talking about careers and what career paths are out there and what's in store for anyone interested in entering the program. We're talking about the College of the Canyons nursing program here on KHTS Radio. My guests are Mary Corbett, who heads up the nursing program, the nursing program director, also Julie Lutz, who we just heard from, and our chief sponsor here for the show is Geneva Gray, and she heads up and owns the local Visiting Angels franchise. Why don't you share a little bit about what Visiting Angels is all about, Geneva?
Sure. Thank you, Carl. Visiting Angels is in-home care for seniors. We've been around for, since 2005. Is that 14 years now? It is a franchise company, and so we've been in Santa Clarita for a number of years, and we take care of seniors in their own homes and give them an option to stay home if they're dealing with the challenges that come along with aging, and help them be independent in their homes. We have a great staff of caregivers. A lot of them come from the nursing background. Sometimes they are nursing students, and I myself am a big fan of community college nursing programs, and that's why I'm here.
And I'm sure you've hired COC students, and right now you seem to always be looking to hire more people because you're an expanding business as all of us continue to get older here.
Absolutely. We love nursing students. We love the COC nursing students. We really try and work with the schedule of our caregivers. We have a big need for people on weekends when students happen to be a little more available. We also love the new grads, the knowledge and the skills that they come from, and just the enthusiasm for caring for people, even if we may only have them for a short time until they pass their boards. We really get a kick out of having them in our organization.
And you provide a unique situation for nursing, a different kind of path, because you're really allowing the nurse to create a relationship, a different kind of relationship with the patient that you're not going to normally see inside a hospital.
Absolutely. It is one-on-one care. So the caregiver learns a lot about their client and how to help them best. We are non-medical, so nurses are not using their RN license when they are our employees, but they can use us as in between. If you're raising kids and take a break from nursing, come work for Visiting Angels. We'd love to have you. If you need a few extra hours during the evenings, we can meet that need too.
Yeah, so that makes that flexibility is very, very nice. With the students that you're putting through the program, and you have 193 right now at College of the Canyons, and I'll start with you, Mary. What paths are most of them taking as they get through the nursing program? And how many of those are going on then to the graduate program, or not to the 4-year degree program?
We do track that because we really are encouraging the bachelor's degree. The timing is different for everyone in terms of what works out with their family responsibilities, other responsibilities. In our fourth semester group that just finished, approximately 35% of them were already co-enrolled in a bachelor's program. But then in a survey that we completed after their graduation in December, they reported, 90% reported that they plan to start a bachelor's program within 6 months. So we are moving more and more towards that type of model. In terms of pathways that they take, this is what is so exciting about nursing. People do tend to think about acute care. But if I look at my own career in 31 years as an RN, I've worked in acute care, but I've also had the opportunity to work in home care as well. I've had the opportunity to work in clinical research as well. So the opportunities are really endless in terms of the nursing profession, and they continue to grow and become more expansive as nurses offer more and more in different settings and to different groups of people over time.
And the cool thing about it, for everyone I know who became a nurse had no trouble finding a job, and more importantly, if they had a spouse who was moving, they could get a job anywhere. It seems to be one of those professions where there is definitely a shortage of nurses, and picking up a job anywhere, certainly in this country, seems to be really an option that very few fields offer, and nursing certainly is one of those.
There's absolutely a huge need that is only going to continue to grow as many experienced nurses are getting closer to retirement now in terms of the numbers. The challenge is always the first job transitioning in, which is part of the reason we encourage the bachelor's degree. But certainly after a year or two of experience, there really are wonderful options for our students. And the nice thing is as well, it's an unusual profession in that there's the ability to work part-time, work evenings, work all night. Whenever people want to work, there's a need for care. And so there's great flexibility over the course of careers.
So, Geneva, you mentioned that nurses or people who are candidates for you could be going to school and also working for you part-time. What are the requirements for them to be a nurse for Visiting Angels?
Well, number one, you got to have heart, that very subjective category, heart. People who are caregivers really like giving back to the people that they care for, and they respect the senior and the experiences that they had in life. And it's really important that be first and foremost. Besides that, there are skills that some of our clients need. There's medical equipment in the home. And even though the services we provide are technically non-medical, they have a lot of medical issues going on. And you need to know how to deal with that when it's an emergency, when to call in help, when to call the doctor or the family, and keeping their medications straight, things like that. So, if a great candidate comes to us and they don't know those things, we will definitely train them. We'll work with them. All of our caregivers are registered with the state, which means they have a spick-span background check that's on file with the state of California, and they have some references that we can check and verify. So that process is called being a home care aide, a registered home care aide, because we are a state-licensed home care organization. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, you definitely answered it. As you have nurses that come into the program and as they're going to school, do a number of them then want to stay in the in-home care area?
Yeah, lots of them do, because they really like that one-on-one relationship that they're able to build. So, either they'll stay with us. We may even hire them in an administrative capacity as a nurse case or a client care manager. We also will lose them to a home health care company where they're providing services as a nurse, like injections and wound care. Or we may lose them to a hospice organization if they have a particular gift for hospice care. And that's okay. We're happy to lose them to other fine organizations.
Geneva Gray, Visiting Angels. It's KHTS Radio. Carl Goldman with you here as we are talking about the nursing profession and career paths, also all that College of the Canyons offers in the nursing program. We have with us in the studio also Mary Corbett, who's head of the nursing program at COC, and Julie Lutz. COC has been really innovative in so many different areas, but the nursing program was one of the first where you tied in. We talked a little bit about this, about tying in with the hospitals out there and tying in with the community and making sure that there's a connection there. And now there's so many other programs at COC that have followed that similar template. How has that template evolved in the nursing program since it was first created? That's been going a long time right now, as far as I know.
Absolutely, it has, because the necessity of clinical experience in nursing training cannot be overstated. The first part of our philosophy at COC, in terms of the philosophy of our department, nursing is an art and a science. And the art and the science of nursing really comes together for our students in the direct care of patients in hospitals. And we're actually moving more towards community care experiences as well. So this model has been going on for a long time, continues to expand, and I would anticipate, in terms of different types of care that we're going to be able to provide for patients, is going to be driven by the needs of our community, and home care being one of those.
Julie, you have a tough job because so many students or applicants are trying to get into the program and you only accept 50 each semester. What are the questions they're asking? What do you think, if you had to take your top 2 or 3 questions that incoming students are asking, what are those?
The biggest question we get is, on a daily basis, is how do I apply to your program? That is number one. And our first statement is, please attend an information session. That's posted on our website, main college website, which is canyons.edu/nursing. Takes you right to the nursing webpage. Across the top, it says admissions. And you want to do the drop down, and if you choose RN, that's for the registered nursing program. You could go right on our website. Information sessions are posted. We have them once a month. They're usually on a Wednesday at 3:00 in the afternoon, and it's open access. Just show up. And that's number one. And then there's also on our website, which is the best place to go, it's the nursing program application checklist. It is a checklist step by step on how to apply to our program. And that is after your prerequisites are complete. So, yes, there is the whole college portion prior to applying to the nursing program. That's probably the number one question we get.
And what would be number 2?
Number 2 is how competitive and what do I need to do to get there? It's competitive. Most of our class is basically point-based, so we do a point-based selection for about 90% of our class, and then about 5% is randomly selected. Students who meet our minimum criteria have an opportunity to apply to our program. However, since we do get well over 300, almost 400 applicants every 6 months, we only have 50 seats. So it is, based, we don't know who's going to apply. It's always based on a curve. And usually our top applicant, so your grades in your prerequisite courses, anatomy, physiology, microbiology, English, general psychology, math, communications. Those are the main 6 that need to be complete prior to applying. 2.5 GPA gets you our minimum qualifications. The higher your grades, the better chance you have of getting selected at College of the Canyons. But students who do meet the minimum criteria do have a chance as well to get selected.
But you're really only accepting a little over 10% of the applicants, so that makes it very, very competitive.
It is very competitive. Yeah. It is.
We're going to be chatting about careers and finding out specifically what career paths are out there, what it means for you if you're interested in the program, talking more about the program at College of the Canyons, the nursing program, and also finding out more about Visiting Angels with Geneva Gray and our other guests, Mary Corbett, Julie Lutz. I'm Carl Goldman, taking this short break. Back in a moment on KHTS Radio.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Want to go back in time to the days when a restaurant meant a place where families gather and friends meet? Try Telly's, now serving comfort food that will warm your heart and soothe your soul. From mouth-watering old-fashioned breakfasts and dinner specials that will make you feel like you're at home. The original Telly's Char Burgers up bouquet just past Haskell. Try Telly's, now serving comfort food that will warm your heart and soothe your soul. Food, family, friends. What better way to share a meal?
Hometown, your hometown station.
One more days.
5:30 a.m.
Don't miss it.
City of Hope is a world leader in cancer research and treatment. And there's a City of Hope community practice location right here in Santa Clarita, eliminating a major barrier in the fight against cancer. Distance to quality care. Santa Clarita benefits from City of Hope's compassionate care and renowned clinical expertise. Find out more at cityofhope.org/Santa Clarita or call 661-799-1999.
Hometown, your hometown station.
.227 this final day of January, Wednesday here, getting ready for the Super Bowl coming up. Go Eagles. Carl Goldman here in the studio. We're talking with representatives from College of the Canyons, the nursing program. And if you are just tuning in, if you're driving around and are looking or wanting to think about a career in nursing, you're going to want to stick around and find out more about this. Or if you have a kid that's in school right now thinking about or trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives, this will be a good final 30 minutes here to find out more about it. Mary Corbett is head of the nursing program at COC. She's in the studio along with Julie Lutz from College of the Canyons, who is the coordinator of the health professions, and then Geneva Gray, who is the owner of the local Visiting Angels franchise here in Santa Clarita. And during the break, we were talking, and Julie, you actually asked the question, which was good. So why don't you ask that again, if you remember, which was talking about who qualifies for Visiting Angels?
Yeah, in regards to employment for Visiting Angels, if my question was to be employed with you or to have the opportunity, the qualifications, and my question was, is it just the desire to be a caregiver and take care of other people? And I mean, no, that's a simple statement, but then you went into more detail on that.
Yeah, well, the desire to care for people is probably number one. But our clients have such a wide variety of needs, so we need all kinds of caregivers. We have clients that may need some transportation assistance, picking up groceries and making some meals. So that type of caregiver doesn't really need a lot of medical skills and background. But if that client's needs change and now they need assistance with medications, so they need somebody who understands what's going on with their medications, maybe they need some assistance in the shower, or they're starting a complicated medical treatment and needs some help through that phase, then all of a sudden the caregiver needs some new knowledge and skills. We do have the capability of training for that in-house. So that's one way that people come to us. Another kind of caregiver that we need are very skilled caregivers who have knowledge about what happens to an aging body and how to assist somebody through that with medications and nutrition and safe ambulation. And some of those people come from a medical background and they already have those skills and knowledge, and they're very valuable to us.
When someone comes in for a job interview with you, what do you, aside from their qualifications, take us through that interview process and what's going on in your head so that applicants can better prepare for sitting down with Geneva Gray to get hired at Visiting Angels?
We start out with our application, our actual online or paper application, and that tells us a lot about the person and the places that they're able to tell us where they've worked and how long they've lived in the area. You know, how they answer that doesn't necessarily disqualify them, but it tells us a lot about them that we all take into account. And then the actual interview process itself, where we sit down and really get to know this person and explore what their strengths are and where we can best use them to meet our clients' needs, that process is invaluable. And we ask a lot of questions about their skills and their knowledge and their experiences. But really, we're trying to gauge the person and what kind of personality they have. And a lot of times we're already matching them with a client in our head just during the interview. And then there's some post-interview follow-up where we check references and verify the background check. And then we have it's a 2-hour orientation process where we're still kind of evaluating them during that process and really, really getting to know them.
And I'm sure some of it is also just the basic 101 interviewing for any career, and that's making sure you're punctual for the interview, you're dressing nicely, you have good eye contact, you're not looking at your phone every 2 seconds, and all the other basics.
Absolutely. We figure that the way they operate in the office when they're meeting us is the way that they'll present in front of a client. So definitely we take that into account. So, if somebody must reschedule an interview, we'll okay, tell us why, and we'll reschedule your interview. If they can't make it the second time, that's kind of a big red flag. So definitely, we just take all that into account and try and determine if this is a person who wants to work with seniors, wants to work for Visiting Angels, and will be able to have a good relationship and help our client.
How outgoing do they need to be?
We take all kinds of personalities. Some clients like a real bubbly, talkative person, and other clients want, well, this might be a bad word, but like a non-intrusive person, that's going to kind of go about their task and then kind of fade into the background. Those are usually our clients who are resistant to having care and find it intrusive to have somebody in their home. They usually get over that pretty quickly, though, and the caregiver can kind of come out of their shell and let their personality out.
And is it just seniors that Visiting Angels is working with, or is there also a population out there who need some in-home care, who are younger with other challenges?
We focus on seniors exclusively. There are other home care companies that care for disabled children and maybe new mothers or younger people recovering for surgery, but we don't. We chose to focus on seniors.
Which is good, so you could specialize in that one area. If you're interested in Visiting Angels, the website, visitingangels.com/Santa Clarita. Mary Corbett, who heads up the nursing program at College of the Canyons. How do people know? We heard from Geneva's side of it going in for the interview. How do your kids know if nursing, and your applicants know if nursing's a good career fit for them? What are the signs you're looking for?
It's an excellent question, and I'm thinking about parents who are trying to guide their children and encourage them in terms of career exploration. For anyone who's and I must say, in terms of our courses, we have everyone from 20-year-olds to 50-year-olds in class, and we're very, very pleased that we have such a diverse population that we serve with great experience coming into the program. But in terms of deciding whether this might be an appropriate career choice, I think it's very wise to consider exposure. And there's a couple of ways that students can get prior exposure. One would be to consider a CNA program, Certified Nursing Assistant, which would provide them with basic skills and enable them to gain employment where they would be in a patient care environment so that they would be able to see what registered nurses do, see how they function. And that's a wonderful way to do it. Another thing that they can do is actually to volunteer in a hospital. Many of our local hospitals have the ability for high school students to be able to come in for a few hours and to help in transporting minimal non-patient care activities, but they are still there in the environment and being helpful. And that enables them as well to look at what the nurses do, but then also what the other health professionals do. For instance, it's very helpful for them to see what does a speech therapist, occupational therapist, physical therapist, dietitian, PT, OT aide, what kind of things do they do as well? Medical lab technician, we have that program as well at COC. The EMT program we have as well, medical social work, case managers. So there are a number of different types of health professionals that students can be exposed to and have conversations with so that they can further explore what their possibilities will be. If they do decide that they feel like nursing is what they want to do and do want to pursue that, I think it's also important to be strategic. Julie was talking about admission process. It's very important for students to consider potentially applying to multiple nursing programs in order to increase their chances of being able to be admitted on a timely basis.
The students who do enter the program, and what you mentioned about the high school students doing volunteer work at one of the hospitals is tremendous, because they also get, by the way, they get community service out of that, and that's becoming more and more of an important requirement. But those, now that once they're in your program, what kind of, do you really push for them doing internships and mentorships outside of the college while they're in the program?
Well, while they're in the program, the COC nursing program, as other programs, is extremely demanding. For instance, the first semester of the program, our students are on campus 5 days a week, and we will say to them, you need to be at your clinical site at 6:30 in the morning, cannot be late, and oftentimes they're there for 12 hours. Our students, by the way, when I tell them be there at 6:30, they'll say, we can be there at 6, it's not a problem. That's the student population that we serve. Extremely motivated, extremely dedicated, and we're very proud of the graduates that we're able to produce through this process. So in terms of internship while they're in the program, it can be difficult, but certainly we help them as much as possible with job placement when they're finished, sending out whatever information we receive, which is quite frequent in terms of institutions or sometimes individuals who are seeking assistance.
Yeah, and as we discussed earlier, the job placement is pretty easy right now because there's such a high demand for nurses. Julie, can you share with me a little bit about the process once someone has gotten accepted at COC? What kind of orientation do you offer before they actually enter the program?
Once a student is accepted into our program, there's an orientation for incoming students. It's, for instance, like our spring application cycle. We're currently in students applying now are applying to possibly start in fall of 2018. Those students will know if they've been accepted by late April. We have, it's I'd say a 3-4 hour orientation. It's usually on a Friday in May prior to their start date in August. And that's when they come in, we go over several health requirements that are required to come into our program. And we also, the art director is there. Usually our first semester instructor pops in to say hello to the students. And we just give them a rundown of basically what they just got themselves into. They generally are expecting that because they've worked so hard to get there in the first place. It's to even get accepted into our nursing program or any nursing program in Southern California, on that matter, your prerequisites, getting those complete, is rigorous and tough. So by the time you reach your nursing program, your expectation, you've already been a very committed student for the most part. And so once you get to nursing school, it's pretty much that would be your first priority. And we let them know that. So when they start, say in the next 2 months, they are prepared. We say, enjoy your summer or enjoy your winter break. And we will see you when school starts, either in the beginning of February or beginning of August or late August. And we pretty much give them a realistic expectation of what to expect while they're there, especially the first semester. It's a lot of time on campus. It's a lot of material to cover. Professor Corbett could answer really. She was our first semester professor for many years. So she would have, she could speak to that.
Go ahead. Mary, would you like to add to that?
The transition in first semester into nursing school is I always have loved teaching it. And before I transitioned into this director position in the summer, I was able to do that for many years. What's exciting about that is that we are introducing them to our profession and explaining to them and role modeling for them what it really means to be a professional nurse. We're teaching many, many skills. They learn about physical assessment. They learn about many interventions that they need to be ready to provide for patients in hospitals. But really, it involves understanding what the mindset is of a professional RN in a commitment to a patient, to their family members, to their significant others, and what it means in terms of being a decision maker, a responsible person who's able to function well in stressful environments, who's able to have the soft skills that are necessary to be an absolute asset to the institutions where they will eventually function, both in the clinical environment while they're in school and then eventually when they finish as well. And also, we start to teach them right at the beginning in first semester self-care skills, because it's very important that registered nurses are able to take care of themselves well because of the intensity of our profession.
That's a really good point that I had never even thought about. So that's nice that you cover that right at the beginning. The healthcare industry is changing so radically. If you're just tuning in right now, by the way, KHTS Radio, Carl Goldman with you. We're talking about the nursing program over at College of the Canyons, nursing opportunities. If you have a student out there in high school looking to try and figure out what they want to do with their career, you're going to want to listen to this show. We're also if you missed it and just tuning in and missed the beginning, this will be on our KHTS YouTube channel and also as a audio podcast, so you can share the information that we've been talking about and getting a lot of information from Mary Corbett, who is head of the nursing program director at College of the Canyons, along with Julie Lutz, who is the healthcare professions coordinator, and Geneva Gray, who's the owner of Visiting Angels here in Santa Clarita, the Santa Clarita franchise. And what I was going to say is the healthcare industry right now is going through so many changes, both on the financial side, the care side, and it's a fluid situation at the moment, but also on the technological side and in terms of our own care, our own nutrition, our own health, it's all shifting. Where do you guys see, you're on the front lines, all three of you. My question is, where do you see this in the next 5-10 years? What's in store? What will a nurse look like 10 years from now that's different from a nurse of today? Geneva, you want to start with that?
Well, what I see is progress in home-delivered healthcare services, and we are a piece of that in providing the adjunct services to the medical field. But tailoring what a person can receive without crossing the threshold of the hospital and delivering things at home to keep them healthy, happy, well cared for, and help them deal with their disease or their challenges. Things like physical therapy equipment that the family might be able to use, monitoring equipment that transmits data electronically that the physician can use to monitor them, and the professionals that are available to come to the home and help with all this. Even think about home delivered meals and how far that has come in recent years. And, Meals on Wheels is an awesome service that not everybody can take advantage of. And now we have loads of options. We can even take advantage of home delivered meals and keep ourselves healthy and happy.
We're seeing virtual doctors coming into being now. Do you think there'll be virtual nurses as well?
I think so. The capability of interacting with people through web cameras, and you can gain a lot of information by interviewing somebody, and nurses play a huge role in that.
Yeah, and as you think about it too, particularly on the visiting angel side, a lot of that is companionship for a lot of your patients, and having someone there, and maybe having the companionship there physically for part of the time, and having some companionship there virtually by just checking in with FaceTime or whatever visual connection could become a valuable asset.
That goes a long way in helping families save costs. One-on-one care is expensive, and if somebody needs 24-hour monitoring but can't necessarily afford it, adding those electronic monitoring systems is invaluable. Even the passive sensors that you can place in a home, and pharmacy or pill dispensing machines, that kind of thing. It is a new world, and it's all about keeping people safe, happy, and cared for at home.
Well, I'm going to let Mary and Julie off the hook for just a couple minutes. They can think about that question, answer, because we're going to take a short break. KHTS Radio, this special report on healthcare, talking with the folks from College of the Canyons and Visiting Angels. Back in a moment.
Why do people from all over Santa Clarita come to our spa in Canyon Country? Simple. They want the highest quality services at prices that everyone can afford. This is Rosemary from Beyond Harmony Med Spa. Read our reviews and know why we won the Ultimate Beauty Awards 2 years in a row by the readers of Elite Magazine. Come and see how close we really are and experience the level of excellence that our clients have loved for the past 13 years. Go to beyondharmony.com or call 298-8008 today for a free consultation.
The stress was unbelievable.
Debbie Morris is a changed woman.
A giant boulder's been lifted.
Debbie called Made for You.
I'd finished a day of work.
Professional, residential, and commercial cleaning.
Walk into my house.
Made for You.
It was an absolute pigsty.
Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or even one-time seasonal cleaning.
Our mess kept growing.
255-2922.
Even when we weren't home.
255-2922.
Made for You rescued me.
Hometown, your hometown station.
One more days.
5:30 a.m.
Don't miss it.
Imagine your home reinvented with a distinctive Clopay garage door. With so many beautiful styles to choose from, Brooks Garage Doors and Painting rejuvenate your home's appearance by creating a dramatic entrance that makes a bold statement. Designed and made in the USA, try the Clopay Door Imagination System online and upload a picture of your home. Explore the possibilities at imagine.clopay.com. Let Brooks Garage Doors and Painting help you choose a quality, American-made Clopay garage door that complements your home. For a free in-home consultation, call 274-4297.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Sunny today with highs in the mid-80s. Some clouds overnight with lows in the low 50s. And then sun and clouds mixed for tomorrow and Friday, highs in the low 80s. Say I love you with a serenade and a flower for Valentine's Day. Nothing says you care like a singing Valentine from a Men of Harmony quartet. For more information, go to scmenofharmony.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
This is your hometown station, KHTS Radio. Carl Goldman here in Old Town Newhall, 2:50 on this Wednesday, final day of January. And we have in the studio with us Geneva Gray, who's the owner of the local Visiting Angels franchise. We also have Mary Corbett, heads up the nursing program director at College of the Canyons, and Julie Lutz, who's the health professions coordinator at College of the Canyons. We're talking about the nursing program, and one of the I think the most successful programs, and the first of the successful programs at COC, along with the auto program. Those were the first two that really tied in not just the college itself, but tied it in with the professional community, with the business community, and really integrated it all in a vision that many schools are now following in COC's footsteps, but they hadn't been doing for a while. Before we took the break, I let you off the hook for a minute to talk about where you see nursing 10 years from now. We're talking about the virtual nurse and other potential things on the technological side. Mary, what do you see?
Absolutely. Well, what I see is continued options for nurses in terms of educational pathways. In the last 5 years, we have the bachelor's, of course, the PhD of nursing. Now we've developed the DNP, the Doctorate of Nursing Practice, which is more of a clinically based doctoral degree. So there's more and more options there. Nurse practitioners. In terms of direct patient care, we have not only the nurses at the bedside, but there are all of those nurses that provide support. So you have nurses who specialize in IT and writing the programs that nurses are documenting on every day. You have nurses who are working as consultants dealing with different development of different medical devices and the research that's required to do so. You have nurses who use their skills in terms of administration in hospital environments because of the need for strong management, and also educators in hospital and non-hospital clinical environments that provide the continuing education that's required for every nurse to continue to be adequately prepared, because truly we are all lifelong learners. Technology is going to continue to enable us to provide not only care for the sick, but health promotion. And health promotion is a major aspect of nursing that will only continue to grow. One of the goals of every hospital is to prevent readmission of patients who are discharged, and I would anticipate that we would have the continuation of management, of communication with patient groups at home so that they can be assisted in their own self-care in order to support that prevention of readmission and the detection of complications early so that adjustments can be made in care to help patients recover more quickly. So access is only going to grow, and the skills that nurses bring to the bedside, I always tell our students who come to us sometimes and they wonder if their previous experience will not apply to their life as a nurse. I really tell them there's no wasted prior experience, because I've never met a waitress who couldn't prioritize or manage time, which is a huge nursing skill. And anyone who has had experience caring for, dealing with, supporting people who have been in crisis, who need support, who need education, who need information, all of that translates to nursing very well.
And in addition, it's an expanding field. There's no question where the aging of our society and the fact that you talked about taking a preventative measure in educating everybody in that respect. There's going to be a tremendous demand for nurses. I don't see robots taking over nursing for quite some time. Julie, how about you? What's your vision over the next 10 years?
Well, I'm actually just at the school taking applications. I'm assuming what I could see is, more and more applicants applying to College of the Canyons. Well, we're a stepping stone, obviously, for its associate degree in nursing science, which is a stepping stone to get your bachelor's of nursing and then move forward for your, master's or doctorate, whatever you choose to go for. It also with College of the Canyons, they're so innovative with the degrees they come up with. So in 10 years, we'll probably have another sort of health profession degree that we'll offer at some point. We'll see what comes from there.
And you have a number of other programs tied in on the health field, too.
We do.
Right?
Yes, not just nursing under our math, science, and health professions. We also have a emergency medical technician, which is EMT class. We have a certified nurse assistant class, which is fantastic for the visiting angels. And currently, like for our spring semester, we have 12 students going to start our CNA program, or it's a class. It's a 1-semester course, and that'll start February 5th, which is just next week. And then we also have our medical lab technician program. That is a 2-year degree program as well, which has a prerequisite and an application process separate than College of the Canyons. Also on the main college website, canyons.edu.
You know, back that funny story of the lab technician program, this goes back 10, 11, 12 years ago. KHTS has been doing a Sacramento trip every year now for 13 years. In fact, Geneva, you were on that trip last year. Coming up in March. Anyone interested? Check in with us. But back then, this was when Cameron Smythe was our assemblyman, his first term. And there were the only lab technician program in the entire state was at San Jose at the time. And there was a shortage of lab technicians, and yet there were no programs, and COC was meeting some resistance up in Sacramento to get funding for that program. So we had 120 of us in the room, including our COC's Chancellor, Diane Van Hook, and a number of board members. But our mayor was in there, and the head of the auto dealers was in there talking about the auto program, and we were in front of the head of education of the assembly and talking to him about it. And he asked, after hearing all of us, he was so blown away, he said, "Can I come down and see what you're doing?" 6 months later, he's down there just as they were breaking ground on the university center, and ended up spending an entire day at COC, and the lab technician program followed very, very quickly from that.
Yes, I happened to work at COC during that time frame as well, and it was very exciting. We are so lucky to have the support of our chancellor and the community in regards to bringing new programs to College of the Canyons. Our medical lab technician program just this last year is now nationally accredited, which is a fantastic thing for all of us, and it's something that our current director has worked very hard, and our dean, to move forward on that.
So that provides other opportunities as well.
It does, and that's an actual degree program.
We are out of time, hard to believe, and we're going to get to, in future shows in the future months, we're going to get to have students in here talking about their experiences and finding out the excitement that they have in store for themselves. So I look forward to that. You're going to want to tune in for that, and I really appreciate you connecting with us and allowing us to get a little better understanding of the nursing program, and one that is, I had no idea was so competitive. So as you're traveling around, if you have someone in nursery school or kindergarten, you want to get them started right away, give them a call. But the orientation once a month website is
canyons.edu. If you go to the A to Z index, you can choose nursing, medical lab technician. They're all listed there. That's the best place to go.
And Visiting Angels, Geneva Gray, thank you so much. visitingangels.com/Santa Clarita to find out about careers there. We're going to be doing more shows coming up. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, all three of you women, for joining us, and look forward to having you back again. KHTS Radio, your hometown station.